Well, good morning, my global issues scholars. Here we are in week 2 of our summative assessment online learning extravaganza. I'm reporting to you from outside. The weather is finally turning, which is some good news. Um, yeah, so I'm just hanging out here, enjoying the sunshine, kind of, and the warmer temperatures. Hope you guys are all doing well. I'm going to keep this pretty short and sweet. Um, we're switching things up a little bit this week with online learning, and this week's unit is called Some Good News. In the classroom, there's a copy of this response form for each one of you, um, and I guess with with everything that's going on, there's so much negativity on the news. I almost had to stop watching the news because it just got too depressing. Um, but John Krasinski, so he was, he's an actor. I really like him from The Office. But over the past number of weeks, I've been posting the latest episodes of John Krasinski's SGN, which is Some Good News, for your viewing pleasure with my weekly updates. In these episodes, John showcases some of the good news stories that we all need to see during these difficult times in our world. Um, an important element in Global Issue 621 is to keep up to date with the news. And usually we would start each class with, talking about what's happening in the news. So your task for this week is to start scoping through the news and find 3 good news stories to report on. For each story, I'd like you to find one from our province, uh, then another one from our country or internationally, and one that maybe you've heard about in your local community or experienced in your own personal life. So it could be the story of someone recovering from COVID-19. It could be someone who is doing a food drive, or someone who maybe found their dog. We want some good news stories. So for each story, I want you to give me a brief overview of what happened, and then offer your own personal thoughts on how this piece of good news demonstrates the human race's ability to rise up with moments of triumph, joy, and hope during times of despair, and why it's good for our mental health to be aware of the good news stories when sometimes all we see on TV is the negative. Um, if available, I'd encourage you to include the link to the story, but that's not required. Uh, an optional method of submitting your news stories could be to create your own SGN episode on video and submit that video instead of writing a response. If you want to do that, I highly recommend using Screencastify. That's the software that I use to create these videos, uh, and it's free for you to use. When you're done, I just want you to submit your work on the classroom, and there's a form here that you guys can work within, and I have it kind of laid out here for you. So there is lots of good news out there in the world right now, even though we may not uh, see it popping up on the front page of our newspapers or the internet. But those stories are out there. So I'd like you to find some of those, do some reporting, and submit your findings. Okay? Take care. We'll see you later. Enjoy the nice weather this week, too.